In this video, I will construct a procedural argument against the length of the opposition constructive and respond to arguments in regards to the economy and legitimacy of recipients. This is my procedural. The opposition constructive speech went on for a total of 6 minutes and 44 seconds, a full 1 minute and 44 seconds over the allotted 5-minute time limit, which is approximately 35% more time than the 5 minutes the structure of this tournament allows. This structure is supposed to ensure balance and fairness between the two sides, and by going over the time limit by an egregious 1 minute and 44 seconds, the opposition has gained an unfair 35% advantage over the proposition, which definitively violates the standards of a fair debate. Therefore, the opposition should lose this round. This is my response to the opposition's arguments against the payment of reparations due to economic collapse. Based on the most recent U.S. budget report from 2011 from the Washington Post, 20% of the national budget, equivalent to $718 billion, is spent on defense. If we were to just take 1% of that 20%, approximately $7.18 billion, from defense spendings every year for the next 20 to 25 years, which won't collapse the economy, I would expect to be able to pay back reparations in full, wouldn't you? Now, in the case that the U.S. cannot decrease defense spending and does need to increase taxes for reparations, I will follow with this response. This is my response to the opposition's argument that the current people of the United States shouldn't have to pay for reparations because they are not at fault for the slavery in the past. However, the rise and success of this nation is based heavily upon the very existence of slavery, and every single living person on U.S. soil has benefited from the unpaid labor of slaves. Therefore, every single living person on U.S. soil should have to pay for the benefits that they have reaped. This is my response to the opposition's argument that reparations will not boost economy. The reparations paid to lower-income African Americans will allow them to increase consumer spending instead of spending their entire incomes on necessities like food and bills, which is what they are currently doing. This is my response to the argument that we shouldn't pay all African Americans reparations because some never suffered under slavery. I maintain that even if their ancestors were never directly under slavery, the discrimination rooted in slavery and Jim Crow legislation that they must have endured grant them the right to be paid reparations just the same. In addition, all African Americans are to be paid. Impoverished African Americans were brought up just as an emphasis. Furthermore, wealthy African Americans will also be paid in the form of tax cuts. Both of these points were brought up in the proposition opening. My next point is this. The opposition claims that there are alternatives to money, such as laws against racial division. No further details were provided, however, making this argument vastly underspecified. Therefore, this argument is invalid and you should disregard it. Finally, the opposition claims that taxing people who aren't at fault for slavery is like committing the same injustice as slavery. No. A slight increase in taxation of people over the next 20 to 25 years doesn't possess even remotely the same magnitude of injustice as the ownership, abuse, and unpaid labor of slaves. This has been my proposition rebuttal. Thank you for watching.